Are you excited about the TV adaptation of
Yes,
Rivals?
very, 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 very wonderful.
Are you allowed to talk about it now?
I can say it's absolutely wonderful. And the actors, I mean, gorgeous actors. Aidan Turner from Podog, was absolute heaven.
And he's not even playing Rupert Campbell-Black.
No. About a man called Alex Hassel, who's over for Shakespeare. Rupert's like that. So he's playing Rupert Campbell-Black. And then David Tennant in it, who's wonderful too. He's playing the baddie, Lord Badingham. So, I mean, there's a fantastic cast.
Rupert Campbell-Black stalked the corridors of my teenage imagination.
I hope he did.
He really did, Jilly. The first one of your books that I read was Polo, and he just blew me away. And he is renowned in your books for being the most handsome man in England. Who was he based on?
Well, there's three men, really. No, it wasn't based, but we moved from London in 82 to the country, and then met at completely different, because I had a vague celebrity. I was a Sunday Times writer, so people used to ask us to new parties. So I met quite a lot of upper-class people, and Andrew Parker Bowles is definitely, who's been a great friend for a long time, and Anne Camilla, his darling wife. So he's very like Rupert. He was beautiful and blonde and stunning. And then there was a man called Mickey Suffolk, who was absolutely wonderful, very, very funny. And then there was one called Rupert Lycett Green, who was married to Carrington Betchman. And they were all these gorgeous men I met. So it's an amalgam of all of them, really.
So Andrew Parker Bowles, who you mentioned, is now the Queen's ex-husband.
Yes, that's right.
And you describe yourself as middle class. Isn't that interesting that you're now friends with the Queen?
No, I don't think so. I mean, after all, the Queen's got lots of friends. She's got lots of dogs. No, I'm probably, perhaps Mum used to say, my dad, my daughter, Mum used to say, upper middle class, darling, upper middle class. So I think from upper middle class, you toddle upwards. And you see the thing is, it's again celebrity. Celebrity, people get asked everywhere if they're vaguely famous, that's all.
And Rishi Sunak, our former Prime Minister, is a big fan of yours as well.
I met him the other day, went to his house in Downing Street. And he's gone now, poor darling, but he was so nice. We had half an hour together. And he's taller than me. And he's very attractive. We had a really, really nice chat. And he said the sweetest thing at the end. He said, also, we've got a... Sorry, that was wrong. So I got the wrong story. Sorry. No, that was Prince Charles when I got my damehood.
It's an understandable mistake. Okay, so you confused the now king with our former Prime Minister. But what did then Prince Charles say to you?
No, he was so sweet. I said, he's got to stay well because the country loves him so much, and you've got to stay well because we love you, and we want you terribly. We want you to go on and living in our country forever. And we were chatting away, and he said, well done, but being a Dane. And he said, by the way, we've got two rather good horses running at Ascot this week.
Did you put money on them?
Yes, so they didn't win.
Did you?
But I think they did the next week.
I wondered when I asked you the Rupert Campbell-Black question whether you were going to mention your father and your brother. Having recently been lucky enough to get a preview of the BBC documentary that's coming up about you, both your father and brother were incredibly handsome, attractive
Very
men.
Gorgeous. My mother was stunning too. I'm obsessed with beauty.
Why?
I just love it. I love beautiful people. I'm unnecessarily obsessed. I mean, I'm unnaturally obsessed with beauty. I think I just like. You're beautiful.
Oh, thank you. So are you.
No, not
you're incredibly beautiful.
87. Anyways,
oh, you're 87 now.
Yeah,
Happy birthday. I gave you a year off. But tell me more about your father. So he was a brigadier.
He was a brigadier, and he was wonderful, lovely man, and very shy. And he got first at Cambridge in classics, and then he went on to be an engineer. I think he got the first bit, and he played rugger for the army. I think rugger a bit for Cambridge, and so he was very glam.
And were these early male figures, did they embody that kind of masculine, macho energy that comes across in your books?
Like macho men, I'm afraid.
You do?
Do. Well, Leo, my husband was macho.
How would you describe macho?
Well, so taking over and looking after affairs when he goes wrong, and sort of more slightly having in charge of the house. The dog is always much more obedient to the macho man. It's just sort of strong, forceful people. And I think my father went off to work and made quite a lot of money. My mother looked at home after us. I don't think this is necessary at all, because I think it's lovely women going out to work. But I do think men being strong and happy about their masculinity, and women being happy about being feminine is lovely.
So what do you think of the age that we're living through now, where some people might think that view is outdated?
I think it's quite hard now. I mean, I don't know, but I had a long talk with my granddaughter. She said she's at a boarding school at the moment somewhere down in the West Country, and she says the boys are very bossy. We never stop bossing her around and being beastly about the girls. So that's from that view, it seems boys still are very, very macho.
Do you think you're a strong woman?
No, weak.
Really?
Wait, Pisces. What are you?
Scorpio.
Rules by the privates.
Yes, 100%. I love that that's the thing that you know. Yes, we're incredibly sexually charismatic. But
Rupert Scorpio.
Who's a
Rupert Campbell Black Scorpio?
I was about to ask if he was. Of course he was. Pisces. I'm Pisces rising. So I love a Pisces.
I like Pisces.
It's the sign of creativity, of course.
No, but drips, actually.
Drips.
Yes, they are drips. It's all the fish, you see. Fish, Pisces swimming through the world. So they are drips, Pisces.
Do you cry easily?
I used to, much less now. Much less. Do you?
Yes, I used to. I do cry easily, but I used to much more. How interesting. But I don't think you don't strike me as a weak person. A weak person couldn't have written the books that you've written, or had the success that you've had, or saved the house that you were living in twice because of your work.
We saved Putney too. That was wonderful, the Putney story.
Tell me the Putney story.
Well, this was the bank manager. He came. It wasn't Putney. We'd moved there, but moved to Gloucestershire.
You saved Putney with class.
Yes, we saved Putney with class. We moved to Gloucestershire, and my husband was very expensive, and I was pretty expensive. So we completely ran out of money. Then we asked the bank manager to stay for the weekend, and we took him and introduced him to lots of sort of royalty, and wonderful weekend, and everything. So you have to think we were richer than we were. Anyway, he sat on the terrace on Sunday night. Oh, looked at the view. Lovely old properties. What a tragedy! You're going to have to sell it. I said, what do you mean? What do you mean? You will have to say, don't think your dirty little book riders will get you out of it. And it did. Sold. So V signed to bank managers.
Exactly. And you moved bank afterwards, didn't you?
Yes.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to check out the full episode of How to Fail on your preferred podcast platform, and also be sure to follow us on social media for the latest updates.